The primary transoceanic abort landing site for STS-55 is Banjul in the Gambia. Weather there and at the other TAL sites is forecasted to be marginal, but we remain optimistic that it will improve as the day goes on and that we will have a chance to go into one of these transoceanic abort landing sites should the need arise. This is shuttle launch control at T-minus 3 hours and holding. The 7 STS-55 astronauts now seated around their breakfast and dinner table in anticipation of this morning's launch at 10:50. You see Mission Specialist Charlie Precourt sitting on the end of the table. Precourt's our flight engineer on this mission. Dr. Ulrich Walter, one of 2 German payload specialists flying. There's Payload Commander Jerry Ross. And our mission commander, Steve Nagel. The pilot of this mission, Tom Hendricks, giving us a thumbs up. Hans Schlegel and Dr. Bernard Harris. This is Space Shuttle Launch Control at T-minus 3 hours and holding. We have just about an hour and 1 minute left in our planned build-in hold here. Looking at a long-range camera shot of Launchpad 39A, where Columbia stands poised and ready for the STS-55 mission. The crew suit-up room is typically busy with activity on launch day. Here's our mission specialist, Dr. Bernard Harris. Dr. Harris will be making his first trip in space on the D2 flight. And we'll be heading out to the launch pad within the next few minutes. We have just 45 seconds left in this build-in hold at the T-minus 3 hour mark. This is shuttle launch control at T-minus 2 hours, 56 minutes and counting. The 7 astronauts flying aboard Columbia today are now leaving the operation and checkout building to begin their journey out to Launchpad 39A. This morning's walkout is occurring at 7:34 Eastern Time and at the height of the time when employees are showing up to work, so they have quite a good crowd of onlookers as they make their way out to the pad. Steve Nagel leading the way, followed by Tom Hendricks, Jerry Ross. Hans Schlegel is following Jerry. Dr. Bernard Harris, Ulrich Walter, and Charlie Precourt. The 7 STS-55 astronauts now making their way along the Saturn Causeway in the Space Center's Launch Complex 39 area. A Saturn V rocket shown in the background. This is Space Shuttle Launch Control at T-minus 2 hours, 39 minutes and counting. The STS-55 astronauts have arrived at Launchpad 39A and have boarded the elevator and should be making their way to the area where they will enter Columbia. Some of the crew can now be seen on the orbiter access arm, and Commander Steve Nagel is shown inside the white room. This is Space Shuttle Launch Control at T-minus 1 hour, 24 minutes and counting. Operations here in the firing room continuing to go rather smoothly towards supporting an on-time liftoff at 10:50 this morning. The red crew that was dispatched out to the launch pad about 15 minutes ago is out there looking at this secondary regulator associated with the helium system of the Space Shuttle's main engines. And that work appears to be going well also. This is Shuttle Launch Control at T-minus 20 minutes and holding. NASA Test Director Al Sofji has informed the team to pick up the count on time. T-minus 4, 3, 2, 1. We're now at T-minus 19 minutes, 58 seconds, and counting. At this point, all continuing to look very good aboard Columbia. We're at T-minus 7 minutes, 34 seconds, and counting. At T-minus 7 minutes, 30 seconds, the ground launch sequencer will initiate retraction of the orbiter crew access arm. And that is now in work. This access bridge can be positioned right back to Columbia within about 15 seconds, should the need arise.
TLT OTC, clear cost and warning memory and verify no unexpected errors. Turn the fault.
The gaseous oxygen vent hood is being retracted away from the external tank. And Orbiter Test Conductor Mike Key has requested Tom Henricks to clear the ship's caution and warning memory system. That task is reported complete with no anomalies. T-minus 2 minutes, 5 seconds, and counting.
And flight crew, OTC, close and lock your visors and initiate O2 flow and have a good flight. Good work, and thank you very much. Yeah, let's just go for EP, LH2, pressurization.
The astronauts have closed their flight visors on their helmets in preparation for this morning's launch. T-minus 1 minute, 30 seconds, and counting.
1 minute, 30 seconds.
T-minus 20 seconds. Columbia's vent doors are being moved and configured for flight. T-minus 15, coming up on a go for main engine start. 12, 11, 10, T-minus 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Solid rocket ignition and liftoff. Liftoff of Columbia on a voyage to the future.
Roll, Columbia.
How'd you roll, Columbia?
Houston is now controlling. The roll maneuver underway and complete. Columbia is in a heads-down position, on course for a 28.5-degree flight, 160 nautical mile orbit. Engines aboard Columbia now beginning to throttle down as the orbiter passes through the area of maximum pressure on the vehicle in the lower regions of the atmosphere. Columbia is now just 1 nautical mile downrange from the launch site at an altitude of 17,000 feet. Accelerating now through 680 miles per hour. SRB separation is confirmed. Columbia is now 29 miles from the launch site at an altitude of 173,000 feet, traveling 3,000 miles per hour.
Columbia, performance nominal.
The orbiter nose will pitch up forward just a little bit to plan for the separation of the external fuel tank.
Nominal, MECO, Holmes 1 not required. Your go for the photo DTO.
Roger.
The external tank has separated from Columbia. The orbiter is safely in orbit now. Downrange from the launch site, 900 nautical miles. The crew's been given a go for the external tank DTO. That's a detailed test objective. The orbiter will conduct a maneuver to pitch around so that the crew members can photograph the external tank as it falls away from the orbiter.
Columbia, the port door's opening now. You getting that camera?
Columbia, we're getting good video now, seeing the door opening.
And Columbia from STS-55 Mission, how do you read?
This is Columbia. How do you read?
Read you 5, and we have again Hauke over here, and he's going to contact you right now.
Yes, Columbia, this is Mission Manager. How do you read?
This is Columbia, loud and clear. How are you doing, Hauke?
I'm just fine. Steve, take my congratulations and the congratulations of the whole team for the very good and very on-time launch which we had.
Hey, it really works.
It really works?
Yeah, it's turning now. Don't you see that?
Is the arm turning?
Yeah, the tool down there should now turn.
Oh yeah, it is.
I can't stand that too long. I gotta pee. Oops. It's on tape, guys.
Yeah.
Turn on. Climb on. Turn on.
Stand by a second. No, thermal camera can be switched off, but just leave it in place to save time.
Investigators want to understand or to try out a theory that doing intense exercise within 18 to 24 hours before return to the Earth's gravity can increase one's muscular tone and cardiovascular functioning, and also help to reduce what is called orthostatic intolerance. That is a change in the body's blood pressure regulating mechanisms that allows one to feel dizzy.
Okay, then we'll wait on step 15.
Bernard, step 1 through 14 and stop out after step 14, then it's completed.
Oh, yeah, thanks for the reminder. We just got engrossed in this IFM. Okay, we'll stand by.
There we go. Great, how do you feel? That's good, right? Yes, good experiment. That really is good. I think I already lost half of my strength.
How many watts are you doing, Hans?
Again?
How many watts are you doing?
Now, right now, 130.
Hey, wait a minute. I'm having to do this front.
That's our pedal command.
Okay, Jerry, that's really nice. Please turn a little bit the container. Again, in the other direction, please. Another. Okay, that was fine. Back. No. Okay. Again, back. Now back. Stop. We have very nice chains, as you see, but I didn't see any movement during pulse application. Did you see something?
No, I just checked. I just was looking through the microscope and did not see any fusion. And then I checked and I saw now that the fusion is over already. But I did not see any fusion products, not at all. And I have a much wider view.
I would like to ask you now to go to the higher magnification. Stop at this one and focus, please. Okay, this looks good.
Looks like, yeah, there's a fusion.
Yes, I think so. Please move on a bit, and then we skip it and go to the next fusion.
The sample goes into the freezer here. This is a passive freezer of gaseous nitrogen.
How cold is it?
About -80.
Is that right?
Here's the temperature, -195 centigrade. I don't think so.
Turn another light on here so we can do the handover.
Jerry?
Yeah.
Why not just on? I stood in the middle of an action.
Hier nebendran befindet sich das Holographielabor HOLOP. Hier werden mit interferometrischer Holographie Modellsubstanzen untersucht und die Diffusionsvorgänge in ihnen, sowohl als auch Erstarrungskeimdynamik.
München PS1.
Ulrich, go ahead.
Upon closing the centrifuge lid, the lock light doesn't go off.
Okay, Ulrich, stand by. storage, yes.
Hans, what are you doing?
Doing tissue compliance.
What is that?
Measuring the compliance of my forehead skin.
Looking for fluid shift?
Yeah.
How long do you have to do that?
Well, for 10 minutes. Just start with the rep that you report 2 times. Sometimes when people set or finish, it's 7 hours, 47 minutes. Hey, that's something else.
Is there a vacuum in that? Is that what pulls the water?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
7:15.
Show any photographs of this?
I've got some. Hey, why don't you start, Conrad? I stood in the middle of the hedge.
We're going to do the pseudo-rail over there.
Ellie, Remo, Ellie, Tobacco, C-line bag, 4 months, I, Jeff.
Alright. Okay, watch it.
Cheese.
Alright.
Alright.
Time to go work.
Thanks, Charlie.
Thank you, Charlie.
Somebody get some footage of the setup.
Directly behind the laboratory module are several exterior experiments. On the far right-hand side is an experiment that deals with exposing materials to the exterior space environment. The tall structure midway up is the Galactic ultra-wide-angle camera.
Okay, and Hans, you now have a go to try to connect the cable to port 2 and then close the front flange protection cover again.
It's the maid! It's the maid! It's the maid! Wake up call! Look at these sleepy eyes! You're being filmed this morning. So wake up. Red shift wake up has arrived.
Geez, how was the night?
Great. Good morning.
Good. Just blood sugars all, I think, they're looking at us.
So I'm going to do some exercise. Video of that.
Okay, yours was at 17:42, mine 17:33. Okay, let's finish it off.
Hey. That's fine. He's got that down. Okay.
Namibian desert. Huh? Get it. Need a camera? Well, I don't know if I can. Probably good out the front windows, I think. Das Magnetfeld hier im Space Lab bewegt sich im Augenblick in dieser Richtung, also entlang des Magneten. Ich drehe ihn mal um oder ich lasse ihn mal um das Magnetfeld schwingen. Nochmal.
Great, and pass them all our greetings, and from the whole crew of Columbia, we're doing great. Got a few plumbing problems, but we're getting them fixed, and I think we'll stay up for the full duration here.
Okay, I copy that. I took
Okay, thanks a million, and great talking to you. This is N5RAW to WA5JFY out, and 73.
I can't broadcast.
Sorry, I said, move that piece of crap on the ground.
KB5YSQ talking to Houston. How you doing, girls? Over.
He's got a good contact now.
Give me a copy.
It's on the ground.
Hey, Lynn, we're doing really good. How are you guys doing? Is Michelle on her way up to Austin? Over. Well, really good. Hey, we had a big day today, and we went right over top of Mount Everest and got some great pictures. Bernard and I did a bunch of photos in the lab. We did our crew photo. You saw the downlink the other day of Ulrich and doing his tour. I took some film of Hans doing the same thing in the lab today. Over.
Columbia, this is WH6EJU in Hawaii. Do you still copy?
This is Columbia. We read you loud and clear.
Okay, we lost you there for a second. I'll turn you back over to the school. Go ahead, school.
Okay, we're going to field this question again. This is Jarvis Simmons. Jarvis Simmons is going to ask the next question.
How do you wear the rover's arm over?
Well, Jarvis, we don't have a robot arm on this flight. We have a space lab in the payload bay, so I haven't had a chance to do that up here yet.
Question over.
Over.
Jerry, it's the aft. It's the aft end camera. We see you just moving into the picture.
Okay.
is GMAC. Before you go into communications, could you ensure that the tablet will write to the screen with the IGT?
The crew can also, by drawing on pictures or devices on the CTE, if this is called, send messages to and from the crew. Henricks has just written a message to make sure that the graphics device will write to the computer screen, and apparently everything went as expected.
Hey Bernard, look what I have here. Do you know these toys from Earth?
Yeah, isn't that the castle of Neuschwanstein, one of the famous castles in Germany?
Yes, it is. And you see the snow on Earth, it usually falls down and the bubbles move up. And here, even if we turn it around.
What happens if you let it go? Oh, look at that. Look at the snow.
Yeah, these little toy demonstrates the principle of microgravity pretty well. Like I said before, the snow is moving down and the bubbles up. Sedimentation and convection is there under 1G. Here it's missing. That is the basic principle many of our experiments are based on.
Wow, let me see that again. Look at that. Hey, well I think, is it possible for us to go to this castle again?
Sure, why not?
Let's do it post-flight.
Right.
All right. In the meantime, let's see what's out here.
Wow, what a sight.
I'll get it.
Send Jerry up.
I think it's in between the page. Look down with it.
Right here.
I'll try not to get your windows dirty while I'm eating here. I'll make you mad with it.
What's the box saying? 9.5.
9.5 and a half for oblique, huh?
Yep.
I don't know what that is out there.
No light?
No, the holes.
What time is the tip of the landmass?
Columbia now over Somalia.
And space lab for München for Bernard, no reply necessary because you run into LOS in 2 minutes. Whenever you have done facility shutdown or follow-up, you have a go to proceed with message 209 concerning anti-reg activity.
Columbia now above the Indian Ocean coast of Somalia, so it continues out across the ocean, crossing the coast almost directly above the city of Mogadishu, Somalia.
Columbia is now passing or going northeast across the continent of Africa. The lights below, or the flashing lights below, are lightning and thunderstorms in the area.
Guten Tag, ich bin Steve Nagel und als Kommandant der D2-Mission heiße ich Sie willkommen an Bord unseres Raumschiff Columbia. Bei 28.000 Kilometer pro Stunde muss ich dafür sorgen, dass meine Kollegen hier im Labor gut arbeiten können. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you on board Columbia and to thank you, the German people, for your support of this mission. We are now into the 8th day of the flight, and it is going extremely well. We think you'll be very pleased with the results. Again, thank you very much. We hope to see you very soon when we're back on the ground. Auf Wiedersehen.
Switches out of all that, and they had to call some. Well, hello.
Hello.
Wie geht's?
Gut geht's. Wie geht's euch?
Sehr gut.
First views of Columbia from long-range cameras at Vandenberg as Columbia descends through 130,000 feet.
Columbia Houston, on energy at the 90.
Roger.
Columbia is now making a wide sweeping turn around a heading alignment circle to set up for final approach to runway 22. Columbia now setting up for final approach. Range from the landing site 7 miles. Time to touchdown 1 minute 30 seconds. Range 2 nautical miles. Landing gear is down and locked. Main gear touchdown. And nose gear touchdown. Columbia rolling out on runway 22 at Edwards Air Force Base in California on the 160th orbit of the mission after traveling 4.1 million miles.
Stop, Houston.
Roger, Willkommen zu Hause, Columbia. Congratulations on a very successful international mission. There's a lot of folks all around the world that are very excited about the knowledge gained during your mission. Congratulations.
Capcom set up for Edwards 159. We're waving off KSC, and they should remain in their current attitude and reference the one-orbit wave-off procedures in the entry checklist.
The time of the deorbit burn for a Kennedy landing is just a little after 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern, actually about 8:02 Eastern Time.
Columbia, doors are closed and land.
Columbia, we concur, and we saw all good times and closed and land.
That's right, we saw Bill motor time on all.
Astronaut Charlie Bolden flying the shuttle training aircraft, which is a modified Gulfstream, which mimics the orbiter's landing phase. He's been flying approaches to runway 22 out at Edwards all morning using this STA, as it's called, and also using the T-38, the small jet trainers that are used for proficiency training by the pilot astronaut.
Burn report, if you would, please.
Columbia, Houston, we have you back on Tidris West looking for a burn report.
Normal burn, Houston.
Okay, we copy normal burn, and you can delete the hydraulic fluid thermal condition today. It is not required.
Copy that.
Altimeter is 29er908, and the winds are 220 at 12, peaked to 17.
Roger, 29er908.
Flight DNC PTS 6 is active.
We'll stop, Houston.
Roger, Willkommen zu Hause, Columbia. Congratulations on a very successful international mission. There's a lot of folks all around the world that are very excited about the knowledge gained during your mission. Congratulations.
Here and back.
No post-landing deltas.